If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
Hey, before we get to Michael Monks, there's a special thing going out at West Valley LAPD tonight at 6:30. They have restored the memorial out there for fallen officers, and it looks beautiful. So, Haim Linder, thank you for doing that. That's beautiful. Tonight, a rededication of the unveiling of the beautiful, beautiful memorial out there for LAPD officers. And I think that's on Wilbur, and I used to live in that area. Wilbur and Van Owen, I think, is where that is. Wilbur and Van Owen or Sherman Way? I think it's Van Owen. Wilbur and Van Owen. I'll have to look that up. I feel like an idiot that I don't know that. But it's great. Memorial tonight, rededication, 6:30. It looks fantastic. And those officers, they deserve that. I think there's 4 officers on that memorial, or the last time I looked at that. And so tonight, 6:30, if you're in the area, stop by. Cops always appreciate that. Van Owen and Wilbur. All right, let's get to Michael Monks here. Michael, how you, bub? There? Hello?
Hello, it's
Hey, Michael Monks, how are you, bub?
I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well.
All right. Hey, so LA City Council, they're funding the copper wire theft heavy metal task force, huh?
Well, yeah, this is something that they created with the LAPD back in February in response to this crazy amount of copper wire and other metals that have been stolen all around the city, leaving some neighborhoods completely dark.
Wow.
Because a lot of these wires are coming from street lights. So if you live in one of those parts of towns, you know how debilitating this can be for just feeling safe in your community. Today at the city council meeting, Councilman Kevin De Leon of Council District 14, which is downtown Boyle Heights, Eagle Rock, that part, he allocated $200,000 from his own council district office redevelopment funds to boost their efforts, because you're getting the sense, Tim, that some of these council members are growing quite tired of the conditions of the city of LA.
Sure. Well, welcome to the party, I guess. Huh?
Sure.
But what is that copper wiring worth? I know that on the 6th Street Bridge, that was the $500 million bridge that they put up. And then, a year and a half after it opens, they take all the copper wiring, and that bridge is completely dark, which is dangerous. And it's going to cost them $6, $7, $8 million to replace it all. But is that copper wire worth anything when they go to resell it, or is it just pennies on the dollar?
Well, it is worth something. It's worth enough to create these copper wire theft rings, Tim, that exist in the community. And these are criminal masterminds, I suppose, that prey on some of the more vulnerable people who are roaming the streets out there in LA, some of the drug addicts, the homeless folks who will often do the dirty deeds of taking this wire and then getting a little bit of money for themselves. But the big dollar that comes from selling this copper is made by people higher up on the chain. Now, last week, Councilmember De Leon was joined by Councilwoman Tracy Park, who wanted to highlight some of the success of what they call the Heavy Metal Task Force. And this is something that has apparently yielded more than 80 arrests in recent weeks and has recovered more than 2,000 pounds of copper wire that's been stolen. But it's not just streetlights. It's not just the bridge. The bridge is the most glaring example because it's so new and was so expensive, and now it's completely dark, which a lot of people would look at as completely symbolic of the state of LA right now. But it's also historic monuments and memorials and plaques that are all over. Councilman Bob Blumenfield in Woodland Hills had his Walk of Hearts destroyed. 11 plaques that honor teachers as a sort of Hollywood Walk of Fame setup have been stolen for this exact same purpose. So all over town, folks are stealing this stuff, and it's become such a blight that the council formed this task force in conjunction with the LAPD, not unanimously. A couple of council members voted against that today. Council members Ulises Hernandez and Hugo Soto Martinez, they do tend to vote against any additional expenditures that go towards the LAPD.
Right. Yeah, screw it. Yeah. But I thought of a great idea. By the way, you're a little younger than I am, but were you a heavy metal guy growing up? Were you like a, Metallica, Motley Crue, Iron Maiden guy?
No, I was more of a Reba McEntire, George Strait kind of guy.
I get that. But I got a great idea that they should have a heavy metal concert to support this heavy metal task force and bring them all out. System of a Down, Motorhead, Tool, Korn. Bring them all out and have a huge... Motley Crue would be another one. That's another great one. And do a huge concert for this.
I bet a lot of them are retired out here. I bet we could probably throw a stone and hit some of their mansions. So I'm sure they'd be ready to jump out and help.
So you're a big country music guy growing up?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Not much now. It sounds too different. It sounds a little too much like heavy metal or pop music, if you ask me. Hey, back in the old days, it was good stuff.
You grew up in Louisville, right?
Northern Kentucky mostly. Born in Louisville, early childhood there, then Cincinnati area of Northern Kentucky.
In that part of the country, and I'm embarrassed that I don't know this, but are country music stations like the top stations in town?
Huge. Even in Cincinnati.
Is that right?
Yeah. B105 is their big country station, often #1 in the ratings there. WAMZ in Louisville, the big country station. I can't find a country station here. Not that I would, since it's not an iHeart family station.
It's wild.
You can't find it out here.
I always thought if I had to do it all over again and raise my daughter, I would look specifically for cities that had a huge country music station or two, and slide in there and raise my daughter. I think people who listen to country music, I think are great. I think they're terrific.
It's crazy because it's actually because it's become so mainstream and there's so much crossover between the different genres these days. You could pretty much end up in Detroit and have that scenario. Really,
that's right. All right. So when is this thing? It's fully funded. It goes into LAPD's pocket to try to solve this.
It goes directly to this heavy metal task force as part of the LAPD. Okay. So the LAPD will administer the funds. They're already out there doing this work. As I said, they yielded some results last week that they were hyping. A lot of big pile of copper wire shown off at a press conference. So this money should go a little bit further. Downtown has been hit particularly hard by this. I mean, the electric vehicle charging stations are completely destroyed. The street lights are out. It's everywhere you turn. Anywhere you can get some copper wire, it's been taken.
Yeah, buddy, I appreciate you coming on. Michael Monks. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, there he goes. Michael Monks. LA City Council has voted to fund the heavy metal task force, not Metallica, Judas Priest, Slayer, Iron Maiden, but LAPD to try to get some of these copper wire thefts to cool their heels a little bit. All right, very good. We are live on KFI AM 640.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
Costco is in the news. I went to Costco last night. Not bragging, but made a couple of bucks. And my wife and I enjoy a membership to that private club.
What'd you get?
Well, I got a couple of shirts. They were discounted to $9.99.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Flannels for the winter. Woo! Already getting my winter wardrobe ready.
Yeah.
When's the last time you've been to Costco?
It has been maybe a year.
Okay. Well, maybe you don't know this then because you're not a regular. I don't consider once a year a regular.
I don't
You know why you have a membership. So I went last night, and as I walk in, they used to just flash your card. They say, "Oh, welcome to Costco," and you get your big ass cart and you walk around. And so she takes my card and she scans it, and then my photo pops up, the photo that's on file for Costco, and she matches that to my face. And she goes, "Welcome to Costco." And I thought, oh, okay. God almighty. I mean, what are we doing here? When I go to the federal building in West Los Angeles, in Westwood, they don't even do that. There's tighter security at Costco than the federal building. I had a friend of mine, this happened years ago. We were out in Burbank, and he drank too much. A lot of us have been there. And then he went outside and he relieved himself in the parking lot. And then he got into some kind of argument with a guy. I think the guy said he whizzed on his car. And the cops showed up. And they dragged him to jail for being drunk in public. And I thought that was great. The guy that I went out, to the bar to have a couple of drinks, he went with the cops and I walked home. And so hours and hours later, I think it was the next morning, 6 a.m. I went to the police station to see if he was still there, because I felt bad. And someone to, see if I could bail him out. So I said, hey, can I go to into the jail to see if my buddy's here? And they said, yeah, we need to see your license. And I said, oh, all right, just his ID. And you know what they do? I think they did this. I think they check for warrants, because a lot of guys who go visit their friends in jail also have warrants, and they'll arrest you right there and throw you in with them. So I got in there. He was in there in a cell being held. Very nice jail in Burbank. If you're getting arrested, man, that's the place to do it. Very clean. And he was in the cell, and I tried to sneak a photo of him in the cell, so I could bust his balls, maybe make it into a Christmas card.
Nice friend.
Oh my gosh, a little blackmail.
I think he thought it was funny. I think, I don't know. But the cops there said, hey, please don't do that. I said, okay, all right. And it was odd, just sitting a friend of mine sitting there behind bars.
Yeah, a little odd.
It's crazy. But when you go to Costco now, they match your photo to the one they have on file. And if you're not the same person, you're not coming in. I mean, that's crazy security, to show me your papers before you shop here. That is wild. I've never seen anything like that before. Any other store I've ever been in my life, they've never checked my ID or license or membership against a photo, but they do with everybody now. And Costco, they were rolling out new membership and at the entry scanners that you can't fight. Either that card's yours or it's not. And if it's not yours, you're not getting in.
Didn't you have a stat about the percentage that the membership brings in the revenue to Costco?
Yeah, I think it's most of the revenue, because Costco is supposed to sell everything at their cost. I don't think they make money off products. I think they just make money off memberships. I think that may or may not be true, but I think it's true. I think everything in there is so inexpensive because they make money just off the membership. They're supposed to sell everything at what they bought it for, or, the plus transportation cost, whatever. And that's why you get sweet deals. That's why you can buy a shirt there for $9.99. It would be $40. Nice flannel shirts at Costco in Burbank, $9.99.
Okay, I just looked this up, that it said membership fees generated $4.5 billion in revenue in 2023, which is 72% of its total income.
Wow. That's a lot.
So I could see why they would invest in.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't want you using somebody else's card.
Yeah.
You got to have your own membership. And Costco's getting serious.
Bad news for anyone who out there who is borrowing a Costco membership card.
You know who you are.
That's over. That's over.
I mean, we've all done it, right?
Yep.
The store may be testing out a new way to verify memberships.
No, they're not. It is already happening. They may be testing it at other Costco's, but the one in Burbank, they're already doing it.
According to reports, Costco is trying out a new card scanner at entrances.
Yep.
It will scan your card to make sure the photo on the card matches the shopper.
That's right.
Customers who aren't members are still allowed to purchase prescriptions from the pharmacy, but can't enter the warehouse.
Oh, how embarrassing. You get caught. You can't get in the warehouse. You can't get in a Costco. You don't have that kind of juice to get into a Costco. They throw your ass out. Oh, that's embarrassing.
Costco memberships cost between $60 to $120.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to get in there, but man, that's fun. I like Costco.
A year.
This is why we can't steal nice things.
Yeah.
Wait, that's why what?
A year.
This is why we can't steal nice things.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You can't steal nice things. I get it.
Sam's Club is working on new technology that will help customers check out faster. Instead of having a worker check your receipt before you leave, the chain is testing out artificial intelligence that can scan your cart and verify purchases.
All right. Okay. That's not that interesting. I will say this, though, and again, I hate to correct behavior, but I'm seeing it more and more now, and it's bothering me. And so I've got to remind people. Costco has a racetrack inside. When you go into Costco, you get on the track and you walk towards baked goods, liquor, which is straight ahead. Then you make a left at meat, and then you come back through, household goods and bread and snacks and that kind of stuff. But there's a track, and you go counterclockwise. Most Costco's, you go counterclockwise where you get in and you go around the clock, around the track. Do not swim upstream.
I swim upstream.
Oh, I can't believe that.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, that's wild. Do you do it on purpose?
You do it too, Bellio. Yeah. Well, I always go clockwise because what I want to get first is over on.
I don't even know you. God, I saw two people. There's two main arteries. One that goes deep into Costco and one that goes towards the registers. And there was two people, cart side by side, two families talking, blocking that main artery, and I took photos of them. And I passed them around to friends and say, how about this crew? How about this crew? Blocking up the arteries right down Broadway.
So someone may have a picture of Angel on
Maybe.
their phone.
That's right. Angel, I find that I find it so off-putting and so weird and wild and like you're I don't know.
Well, I didn't understand that there was a certain map that you take through there. I was always wondering why there were so many people walking towards me.
I see. Right. Yeah. Banging into your cart. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I will say that the Costco cart is solid. It is made out of like super steel. That is a big ass, nice cart. I enjoy that.
Bumper cars.
Yes. I love it, man. I love it. And I love getting back into paper goods. In the back there where you buy your paper towels and your toilet paper, and then there's water there. I love that Costco, man. I enjoy shopping there. I hope they never kick me out. I hope they have me forever. I enjoy that whole program.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
An email here. Hi, how you doing? I've been listening to Tim talk about the home robberies, and I can't believe this one hasn't been mentioned or in the media at all. But last Friday, I was working on the set of The Morning Show at Holmby Park in Holmby Hills, LAPD. So there was a home invasion robbery at a home directly across the street from where we were shooting around 1:30 p.m. One guy took off in a BMW with all the goods, designer bags, watches, the whole run, and left his cohort in the home. Helicopter circled, telling him to put down his weapon. The perimeter of the home was surrounded. Neighbors heard the helicopters and came out to see what was going on. They saw us shooting the show and thought it was the cop cars and the helicopter were fake, part of the show. It was insane. I can't believe it happened with hundreds of crew members and people right across the street. And then it says her name, but I don't want to mention her name. I don't want to get her in trouble. Or him. Whatever. And then one guy said, hey, you're a big heavy metal guy. What are your top 10 heavy metal bands? I'm like, oh, okay. That's interesting. I thought about it. I would say Tool, maybe number 10. Pantera, 9. 8, I would probably put Led Zeppelin in at 8. Maybe Judas Priest at 7. I would have to go Megadeth after that. Maybe 6. Slayer, 5. Maybe Iron Maiden or Black Sabbath. Either Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, or Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath for 3 and 4. Number 2 is a personal friend of a personal favorite of mine. Dream Theater. Not as big as you'd think, but unbelievable. And I think Metallica would have to be number 1. Metallica. Yeah.
Wow.
I had a Metallica poster.
Is that right?
That's how into it I was. They have a chick magnet when you're in your, late 20s, early 30s, and you got a Metallica poster up. You're like, oh, wow, you're heavy metal. Ah, yeah. Yeah, kind of. Just a little bit. We have the pole vaulter in the news. Guy was in the pole vaulting, and he could have won an Olympic medal. But as we've all seen by now, as he was trying to jump over the pole with his pole vault, over the bar, his wee-wee got in the way. And down came the pole and the bar and his pole.
Pole vaulter Anthony Amirati's Olympic dreams hit an unexpected NSFW hurdle.
Yeah.
During the men's qualifying event at the 2024 Paris Olympics, August 3rd, the French athlete's manhood dislodges the crossbar, sending it crashing down.
Now, Belly, I've been telling you for years that this could happen, and it's the reason that I was not on the Birmingham High School pole vaulting team.
You have said that before.
Years.
I was shocked to hear this information.
I remember Coach Harris said, hey, he said, you're a skinny kid. You got some speed. You can handle the pole pretty well. Why don't you be on the team? And I said, Coach, buddy, I'm going to cost you a lot of championships, man. I'm not your guy here, dude. I'm not your guy. You're constantly, watching that pole come down, and I'm just not your guy. You got to get a guy with a tiny wiener up there.
With Anthony.
What was that?
Good on you.
Yeah. Well, look, I just didn't want to be embarrassed, Although kind of a spectacle, I tried it a couple of times. Like, wow, man, that guy's never going to get over that pole. Woo.
With Anthony visibly upset by his own package betraying him, the 21-year-old clutches his head in disappointment at coming in at 15th place in the competition.
Yeah, I think he did this on purpose because he knew he was going to be an also-ran. He's going to get 15th or 16th. And the Olympics, unless you get gold, nobody cares. Nobody really knows your name. Unless you're Simone Biles, you get silver. People care about that. But if you get 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 9th, 20th, nobody cares. Nobody ever remember your name. But now everybody knows who this guy is because he tried to get over the bar, but his personal pole got in the way.
Later reacting to his elimination in a statement posted by the French Athletics Federation saying, "It's a big disappointment. I'm a bit gutted. It's the first time I've..."
It is a rather big disappointment.
"It's a big disappointment. I'm a bit gutted. It's the first time I've started a competition without any stress. As I was a total outsider, I only had one goal, to play with the public. I was almost there." And while Anthony may have not...
I think there was something lost in the translation there. I think that they didn't have their translator available.
"It's the first time I've started a competition without any stress. As I was a total outsider, I only had one goal.
And what was the goal?
To play with the public."
What?
Yeah.
To play with the public? I think the translator was out having a baguette when he was talking to the audience.
To play with the public.
My one goal was to play with the public? It doesn't sound right.
I was almost there. And while Anthony may have not won at the Olympics, he sure won over the internet, with the French athlete's flub going viral on social media.
With the what?
With the French athlete's flub going...
with his flub. With his flub, I see.
With the French athlete's flub going viral on social media.
Yeah.
One ex-user writes, "I mean, if you're going to be famous for losing a pole vault, this is the way to do it." Another chimes in with some seemingly French-themed humor, posting, "Oh, he brought that baguette to the games." And finally, one user shares a message...
Stand-up comics over in France.
"Oh, he brought that baguette to the games." And finally, one user shares a message of encouragement with Anthony, letting him know winning isn't everything, saying, "He's going to stroll out of this Olympics with more ladies' phone numbers than medals." The 2024 Paris Games marked Anthony's first time making it to the Olympics.
Wow, first time in the Olympics. Good for that guy.
And it's sure to be a competition he'll remember for a very long time.
Yeah. That poor guy, or I don't know, great guy, I don't know. But that was something else to see, man. Something else.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's Conway Show. All right. Ding dong. We continue here. We've had a robbery in Norwalk. It's not just Encino or Palisades, Tarzana, Holmby Hills. It's spreading. And in Norwalk, somebody walked into a smoke shop to try to take their stuff.
The two outstanding suspects were taken into custody moments ago, and we'll show you video of that in a moment. But this all started about 9 o'clock this morning when three suspects went inside the classic tobacco smoke shop here in the Smart and Final Plaza off of Firestone Boulevard in Norwalk. The store owner opened fire, hitting one of the suspects. That suspect was transported to St. Francis. Their condition is unknown. Now, here's video we shot just moments ago. For several hours, there was a search for these two outstanding suspects.
Man, it's everywhere. Everywhere. Crime is everywhere, man. Unbelievable.
And boy, they gave themselves up pretty quickly once they saw the canine unit, the dog, was going to go into the backyard. So the two suspects are in custody. There's no longer a threat to the community. Going to be a long-playing investigation, though. As I mentioned, one of the suspects was shot by the store owner.
Man, people are, they're on edge. They're on edge. All right. Speaking of canine unit, here's something special that I don't think I'll be buying, but maybe Bellio, I think if anybody on the show, maybe you or Angel would get into this craziness. Maybe.
Dolce & Gabbana released a perfume called Fifi in honor of Domenico's Dolce's canine. According to the D&G website, the fragrance is a, quote, olfactory masterpiece featuring a touch of musk and the creamy undertones of sandalwood.
It's perfume for dogs. That's where we are in 2024. We've got a war breaking out in the Middle East. Iran's about to attack Israel at any moment. We've got Russia and Ukraine getting all crazy. We got a very contentious political atmosphere in the United States. And people are going to the store right now to buy perfume for their dog. Two different worlds.
Moosey has allergies, so I'm going to pass.
Oh, okay. All right. Would you do that, Angel? Get a little Dolce & Gabbana perfume for your dog?
I think I would if they had an accompanying fragrance for myself that goes well with the fragrance that the dog wears. Not that I want to smell like my dog, but I think if the two scents worked well together, that might be kind of cool.
Okay. Yeah, and your bird just looking at everybody like he can't wait to get the hell out of here. Everyone's crazy in the house.
My bird's flipping me off right now.
That's right.
Olfactory masterpiece featuring a touch of musk and the creamy undertones of sandalwood.
Oh my God, who's doing this? Who's on board here? God.
Olfactory masterpiece featuring a touch of musk and the creamy undertones of sandalwood. A bottle of Fifi costs, get this, $109.
$109 for dog perfume.
It also comes with a Dolce & Gabbana collar with a tag.
All right.
Okay, that's a pass for me after he said that.
Can't just go down and get Old Spice or Brute and spray it on the dog. It has to be $100. $100. That's crazy. All right, we have the Orange County Fair. We talked about this a little yesterday, and we didn't quite get to it because we had some major fires burning in San Bernardino. But Orange County Fair, guy goes into Orange County Fair with his wife, his kids, I imagine. And he's like me where he needs a little more action. You know, the fair's great, but he needs a little more action. So he buys a scratch-off, a lottery scratch-off.
Trip to the Orange County Fair ended up being a life-changing experience for one person.
Someone scored $1 million after buying a multiplier craze scratchers ticket at a booth. Five Star Liquor in Westminster set up that booth. Owner says the winner showed a lot of excitement, but wanted to keep it under wraps.
Yeah, he wanted to keep it from everybody, including his wife.
They'll have to claim the prize by mailing the ticket in or visiting one of 9 California lottery offices.
Where are you in life where you're mailing $1 million ticket in? What's going on with you? Mailing it in. You imagine that? How nervous you'd be about the mail getting there? And then 3 weeks later, you call up, go, hey, I haven't got my check. Well, we never received the ticket. What? You got to be kidding me.
They'll have to claim the prize by mailing the ticket in or visiting one of 9 California lottery offices.
Yeah, get in your car and go to the lottery office. Don't rely on the post office to get you that million.
A similar booth is set up at the Ventura County Fair.
Oh, my God. People are crazy. Just crazy, 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 crazy. All right, when we come back, we got the Power Hour next. Yeah, 6 to 7 p.m. is always a great hour here on KFI AM 640.
Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.